Hello everybody, my name is Mark. Welcome to another one of my wondrous Runescape videos, and in this video I went through the toil and effort of talking about 7 strategies and helpful tips that you can use when you are playing the Shifting Tombs minigame. And this video is not for beginners. I am making the assumption that you know how to play the game, you know what the different objectives are, and this video goes over some of the strategies that I use when I am playing the Shifting Tomb minigame. And right here, as you can see, right off the bat, I have all of the 7 strategies listed. And I made it like a table of contents so that you can skip ahead, you can fast forward, and you can go to the parts that look interesting to you. If you want, you can watch the whole video from start to finish, or you can skip around to whatever looks interesting to you. But that's what I got for you. These are the 7 strategies listed right here. If you want, you can even stop the video right now if you think you know all this. But if not, and you want to have some fun, then enjoy the video and let's get this party started. Okay, so the first thing that I want to say, I'm here at the entrance of the Shifting Tombs, and this is my first tip, is you want to increase the size of your mini-map like this. You don't want to do this. You don't want to make it so big that you can't see the screen, but you want to get it in the corner, and also get rid of all your other windows. Okay, you don't need your backpack, you don't need your layout, you don't need any other windows. If you're going to chit-chat, then chit-chat. If you're going to play Shifting Tombs, then play Shifting Tombs, but don't try to do both chit-chat and play the Shifting Tombs at the same time. That doesn't work. Okay, so I usually make my map about this size right here so that it covers a good part of the corner, but I can still see the middle of my screen, and that's probably a little too big, so about like that. And the reason why is because I'm going to enter the map here, and this is solo, and so here's the map. As you can see, the map is very big, and if I had just like a little normal layout like this, then I can't see hardly anything. So, but if I do this, then I can at least try to plan out a little bit about where I need to go. And already I can see that the exit arrow is up to the north, so I would be probably heading to the south first if I was going to do this map. Right, so having a nice big mini map is very helpful for this Shifting Tombs mini quest, and that's the first tip that I have for you here in this video. Okay, the next tip that I have for you here is to focus on your objectives. Don't worry about trying to go down every single path, get every single chest, down every single dead end. You're not going to have time to do that. You only have 5 minutes and you are solo. And here in this map is so big that I'm not even sure which way the exit is. So I decided to go to the right over here, and hopefully I'm going to get lucky and the exit will be somewhere down on the other end. So as I'm walking down here, I'm going to be hitting all of the vases that I can, all the urns, and I'm going to get all the chests, and hopefully there's a sarcophagus back here somewhere, and I'm able to accomplish as many of the objectives as I can. But after I get done doing this, and if indeed the exit is at the other end, I'm not going to turn around and go back the way I came and try to get all the stuff that I missed. I'm not going to have time for that. I only have 5 minutes, and it looks like down to the south there's a whole bunch of a big cluster of corrupted crystals, which is good, which means that I'm probably going to be able to accomplish one of my goals of corruption. That will help me complete one of my objectives. And in case you see the blue haze, that blue color there, that's a power surge, and that allows me to knock out several of the crystals at once, as you see me do. And then I'm going to knock out these to the left, and that will help me get a lot of my corruption objective, and also it'll help me make my way further down the trail. So that's good luck for me. But again, as I continue to go down this trail and I get as many of the objectives as I can, I just knocked out some more of the crystals, and I continue to smash vases, and hopefully there's a sarcophagus down here. And if indeed the exit is at the other end, I'm not going to try to go back and go down the other way that I didn't go, thinking that I'm going to have time to do all that and then come back. I'm just going to focus on my objectives, because if you don't make it out of the exit in time, you don't get any experience. So just focus on your objectives, get what you can, get as much as you can, and everything else will take care of itself. So that's the next tip that I have for you here. Just focus on your objective. Okay, my next tip that I have for you here is to use planning and logic as far as what you're going to do. I cannot give you an exact answer about where you should go or what you should do, but I do have 3 guidelines that I use, 3 guides. And the first one is the location of the exit. And that's the most important. And one of the things you can do is you can really briefly make your map really big like this, and I can see the exits right there at the top. And now I can kind of plan out my route a little bit better that way, and then I can shrink it back down again so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's the first guide that I have. And then the second one is the location of the urns and the crystals. And if I make my map a little bigger right there, right in this little area right there, I see a whole big cluster of the urns and the crystals, and they go together. Okay, I do not separate, first look for the urns and then look for the crystals. They go together, and the reason why that is because if you can smash 5 urns in a row, and I'll just do it right now just to show you what I mean, then you can get these power surges. And when you get a power surge, and right there you see I now have a power surge, that gives me the ability to smash a whole row of the crystals out at once instead of just one at a time. So I want to try to smash as many of those urns as I can on my way as I make my way down to those crystals. And I did skip over those chests for the purpose of the video. And now I'm going to stand right here and watch what happens. I got a power surge. I actually have a stack of 2 of them. And there, I was able to knock out that whole row of them. And now I can do it again. I can maybe knock out this row right here. And that lets me knock out like those whole 3 of them. So that's the second guide that I use when I try to use a little planning and logic, is I try to look for clusters of crystals like that. And I try to look for all of the nearby urns and vases, okay? And then last but not least is the location of the sarcophagus and also the chests. And when you're looking around for these chests and sarcophagus, you got to consider how much time's left, and also how far away is the exit and from the locations of the chests and the sarcophagus. And you see the exit's way up there, and I'm down to about 2 minutes, so I don't have time to go all the way on this far left corner. So I'm going to hit this vase right here real quick. And because I've been doing this video, I haven't been concentrating as well as I should, so I'm probably not going to be able to finish all my objectives here. But at least you have an idea of what I'm talking about when you're doing this. And I might do another video, or maybe even put a clip in this video of me just playing a game of shifting tombs, so that you'll see at least how I do it. And I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, but I generally tend to get at least 2 out of 3 of all of the objectives. And this one, I have one more sarcophagus to get, and I'd have to go all the way around here, or I'd have to go all the way to the other end. So I'm just going to shimmy on out of the exit and take what little experience that I can get. I'm not going to get a whole bunch, but anyways, that's my next tip for you, is to use some planning and logic. There's no one right answer about what you should do, what decision you should make, where you should go. Should you go left or right? Should you go to the furthest end or the closer end? You just got to use a little bit of common sense and try to use those guidelines as guides. You know, most important, number one, is the first one. Where's the exit? Because if you don't make it out of the exit, you don't get any experience. And I'm down to, what, 45 seconds? Do you think I'm going to make it out the exit? And then the second guide is the location of the crystals and the urns. And then the third guide is the location of the chest and the sarcophagus. So that's what I have for you here in this tip. And yeah, we'll now move on to the next tip, and let's go ahead and see if I can make it. Yep, I'm down to 20 seconds, so didn't complete any of my objectives, but I'll get a little tiny bit of experience here. So let's see, what am I going to get? Oh, okay, got a little bit there. Okay, this next tip here is what I call hit and run. And what I mean by hit and run is, notice how I'm smashing these urns and my guy just keeps on running. One of the things about this mini game is that you don't have to stop and click your mouse to smash the urns, and you can hit them on the run. Now, if you happen to misclick and you miss an urn, like I just did, well, then you have to go back and get them. But it's pretty simple. You can hit the urns on the run, and that's the next tip that I have for you here. Okay, so this next tip that I have for you here is a very simple one, and it is to use both your eyes and your ears when you are opening the sarcophagus. And just to my north is a sarcophagus, and I'm going to go ahead and walk up there. And when we get there, you are going to hear some noises. Okay, so here I am. I'm standing right next to the sarcophagus here. Now you see the yellow light. The yellow light signifies the beginning of the sequence, and then you have to hit each plate in that order. So you saw the yellow light, but you also heard a noise. Okay, so again, now you would hit this plate first, and then you would hit this plate twice. That's what the sequence means. But the noise can be very useful. So for example, let's say that you're not in screenshot of the light, and let's say you're just standing right here. I don't know if you can hear the noise, but I can hear it. Okay, and you will be able to hear it too if you're playing the shifting tombs and you're coming up on this sarcophagus, and when you hear the noise, that will give you a nice clue about where to go, and you don't have to somehow look around for the light and try to, you know, hide and seek, like, what should I do, where should I go? So that's a very simple tip that I have for you here, and let's go ahead and knock these out of the way and open this puppy dog right up. And let's open it and see what we get. And there we go, we got a nice 174 experience. Wasn't that cool? Okay, this tip here is you want to use your surge ability down the straightaways, and I'm going to go ahead and do it right here down the straightaway. And obviously you don't want to do it when the path is all crooked like this, because then you're just going to bump into the wall. And the second thing is you want to try to use the surge as soon as you notice a straightaway and you have a clear path. Now up here I can't use it right this minute because I have this crystal, this corruption's in my way, but as soon as I clear this out, I'm going to use it again. But that's my next tip that I have for you, is when you get to these straightaways, you want to use your surge, and you want to try to use it sooner than later, because it does take a minute for the surge ability to reset, and that will help you make it out the exit in time. Okay, the last tip that I have for you here in this video is don't forget to set your experience. And you probably know that you can go around to the different statues and the braziers and you can toggle them like this. But what you might not know is that if you actually go into the tomb and you start the game, then you see this little, what do you call it? This little interface up here. You can click on that like that, and you are now receiving thieving experience. If you don't want to receive it and click on it again, you're not. So you might not have known that. So that's the last tip that I have for you right here, is set your experience. You don't have to. If you don't, if you turn everything off, then you'll just get money. But if you turn everything on, then you'll get experience in all the abilities. If you just turn one of them on, you'll get a lot of experience in just that one ability. So that's the last tip that I have for you here is to set your experience. Alright, if you are still with me, you have made it this far in the video. Congratulations, I applaud you. If you want, you can stop the video. I have nothing more to say about the 7 strategies I've talked about. This part is just me playing a game of Shifting Tombs and me kind of talking out loud as I play the game so that you can see that it is a nice, fun, relaxing game to play. So here we go, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand my map and see what's where, and it looks like I'm going to head over this way. The exit's right to the north, so that's nice and easy. I don't really have anything in the way of planning and logic, and I can just start going away. And actually I'm going to leave that chest alone for now so that I can use up my power surge, and then I can always hit that on the way back. So that's another thing that I do. I make decisions kind of on the fly when I notice things that maybe I didn't notice when I was looking at the map initially here. So, and if memory serves me right, down to the south, there's lots of stuff down there. And my objectives, I got to get 2 chests, I got to get 3 sarcophagus, and I only need 48 corruption. So there's the light and also the noise, and so I'm going to hit these plates in the order of the sequence, and I'm going to open my first sarcophagus. So, and notice that my map is semi-big, just like I talked about in the first part of the video. Alright, so there's that. Now we'll start heading to the south, focusing on my objectives. And a little mouse air there, and let's see what we got down to the south. I don't see any crystals, so I might as well hit all the vases on the way down. I see a chest, and so that will be my first chest that I hit. Aha, there's a couple crystals, and I'm going to knock 2 of them. Take advantage of my power surge here, which will help me in my corruption objective. And there's the chest, and so now I'm going to get my first chest. And I'm also going to get my second sarcophagus right after I get this. So this map is pretty straightforward, and I shouldn't have any problem getting all 3 of my objectives. But I'll tell you, when you're playing solo, I think if you can get 2 out of the 3 objectives, you're doing good. Alright, again, let's hit them in the order of the sequence. 2, 3. Open the sarcophagus like that, and that's our second sarcophagus. Now I'm going to pull up my interface and I'm going to do a surge right down this as soon as I get on that straightaway. Okay, there we go. There's our nice little surge, and these little icons there means that I've already hit that area, so I don't need to go down there twice. And now we're going to head down to this part, down to the west. There's another chest down there. There's a bunch of urns. Put these things on the way down. It looks like I'm going to very easily finish my corruption. I still have 2 minutes, so plenty of time to complete all of my objectives. And now we'll get our second chest, and that will take care of that objective. And I've only got 2 more of the corruption to hit and 1 more sarcophagus, which I'm going to hit right now. Alright, that's the noise, so it looks like the sequence starts there, and then it goes to there, and then it goes up to this top one here. So see how these maps just kind of play themselves out. Eventually you get to the point where it just kind of plays itself, you know, it doesn't take any, and there I go, I finished all my objectives. But you get to the point where you don't have to do any tough thinking, you know. And if I can get some kind of bonuses, there's an extra one. Everything else is just icing on the cake. And so I've completed all my objectives, and I'm just going to head to the exit. I'm down to 50 seconds, And this map was very straightforward, very easy map. So good map for me to end my lovely video on. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got something out of it. And as always, if you have any comments, if you want to hit the like button, anything's appreciated. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Happy RuneScaping and ciao.